guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday. Guys, I'm so sorry I can't shout because it's really late and I don't want to disturb anyone, you know, you gotta be respectful and stuff. But basically, as you can see, I'm back, guys, with another Wake Up Wednesday. This time going back to the vlog style, simply because all of my equipment, literally my camera, my lighting, everything is at my cousin Hannah's house, who you've seen on my channel quite a few times, and you would have seen her in my most recent video in the mukbang with all of my cousins and stuff. You would have seen her there. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll link it below, so make sure you check it out. But yeah, all of my filming equipment, everything is at her house, and I legit have not had time to go and film anything. Literally this week started off at like 100 miles an hour. Even today I had like 2 meetings throughout the day, then I had an event in the evening. Yeah, it's been just a long day in general, so I just didn't have any time to sit down and actually go and film any videos. And then obviously because my stuff is not here, which is kind of annoying. This is the reason why, like, guys, when I say to you, life is so crazy right now. Like, I just got a phone call for something that's happening tomorrow, which is exciting, but it's also mad because it's like late and I have to do this, edit this, and sort out some stuff. Okay, the phone call that I just had kind of scrambled my brain, and I've got to be up super early tomorrow, but it's cool. We thank God, we thank God. Anyway, back to the Wake Up Wednesday, guys. I had to come with a Wake Up Wednesday. You guys don't understand what you have done to me. Now when I don't film a Wake Up Wednesday, like literally across the week, why did I say that? Across the week, all I'm thinking about is filming Wake Up Wednesdays. And like, for example, because I've been so busy from last week all the way into this week, literally when I did not film the Wake Up Wednesday, and I was starting to think like, oh my gosh, okay, it's Monday, I haven't filmed the Wake Up Wednesday. Oh my gosh, okay, it's Tuesday now, I haven't filmed the Wake Up Wednesday. Like, you don't understand, guys, I've become obsessed with filming and putting out Wake Up Wednesdays, which of course I know is what you guys need from me anyway. You know, I promised you guys that I would stay consistent, so that's exactly why I'm doing it like this. There's absolutely no freaking excuse. I don't have my camera equipment, but guess what, I have a smartphone, so we're gonna get it. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna get straight into it, okay, because this one is a really powerful one and I can't hold it for any longer. So yeah, let's go. So as you can tell by the title of this video, you might be looking at this thinking, what the flip is this girl talking about? It's time to have an abortion. Now, anyone that knows me knows that that goes against every single moral standard that I have. You know, abortions, I'm not talking about an actual abortion as in getting rid of a child, a seed, a fetus, whatever you want to call it. I'm not talking about that kind of abortion. Again, like I said, anyone that knows me knows that that goes against all of my beliefs, just what I believe in general, okay? Not making any judgment to anyone, that's just what I believe. But I'm talking about having a different type of abortion. It's time to abort fear. And I feel like I especially wanted to talk about this today because I had a conversation today, actually, you know, tonight. As you can tell, I filmed this really late. I'm literally filming this the night before it's supposed to be coming out. Crazy, I know, but I had a conversation this evening. I don't know if she wants to be mentioned, so I won't say her name, but with a gorgeous, beautiful young lady who is also a creative. She does social media marketing, and aside from that as well, she writes pieces. So she's a journalist and she writes loads of pieces for different people. And we were having a conversation. It was really interesting. Got cut kind of short towards the end because I was leaving. But she was talking a lot about, you know, the fears, some of the fears that she has, and just the fact that, like, a lot of her fears have stopped her from doing certain things that she's wanted to do for a very long time. You know, for example, she told me that she's gonna finally start her YouTube channel, and she was like, you know, she's been meaning to do it for a very long time. She's had these ideas for such a long time, and she sees other people doing things that she feels like she could be doing, and she's like, I should be doing that. And I asked her, her, you know, what has stopped you, and one of the things that she said was fear. Now, I've spoken about fear across my channel, you know, many a times. I've spoken about fear in so many different ways, and a few days ago, this phrase just literally came to my mind. It's time to have an abortion. And I was like, wait, what? It's time to abort fear. It's time to get rid of it. It's time to remove that from your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul. Now, obviously, abortion might not necessarily sound like the best term to use, but I felt like it was the most dramatic term to use, which sometimes is necessary for things like this. Perfect. So I've managed to create a little makeshift stand. If you even know how I've got my camera set up right now, you're going to be like, what the hell is she doing? As you can tell, the lighting is not going to be so great, but my arm was hurting and I really, really want to film this video. So, and I want to get through it. So yeah, I was, you know, speaking to her and I was just like, you know, but what is it that's causing you to, you know, that's stopping you from doing all the things that you want to do? What's going on? What are you thinking? What are some of your thoughts, etc.? And a lot of what she said was based on fear. You know, she spoke so much about how it's just been fear that's been holding her back. You know, she feels that she's a bit of a perfectionist. So I think it's a mixture of both. It's a question of, you know, being a perfectionist, but also, you know, fearing what other people are either going to say about you or think about you, because you are such a perfectionist and you know the standard that you want to be at, and then the fact that other people get to have a say on your content or whatever it is. I think that adds an element of fear. And it's like, you can't, this is not even me necessarily saying it to her now, this is me saying it to you. You can't live your life like that for the rest of your life. You can't let fear dictate who you are or who you become. You can't let fear dictate the moves that you're going to make. You can't let fear dictate the steps that you're about to take. It's time to abort fear. It's time to let it go. It's time to literally rip it out of your guts and say, do you know what? I do not want this anymore. I do not want to live in this fear anymore. I don't want to live questioning every step that I take. I don't want to live, you know, wondering why I didn't do something because fear got in the way. And of course, I know I talk about fear so much on my channel, and I understand that it's one of those things that, you know, is so much easier said than done. You can say that you're not going to be fearful. You can say that you're not going to let fear get in the way, but it's so difficult because fear can be crippling. Fear can be paralyzing. You can't explain fear. You can't touch fear. You can't, you know, physically pull fear away from you. It's something that's just in your spirit, you know, which I do believe that a lot of fear as well is a very spiritual thing. You know, in the word it says that, you know, God does not give us a spirit of fear, but rather of peace and a sound mind. Essentially, I do believe that fear can often be a spirit. So if you're someone that's a believer, someone, you know, that prays, pray against fear. You need to cut those ties. Do whatever you need to do in order for you to be able to progress, so that you don't have to keep living in fear for the rest of your life. Do you want that to be you in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years time, looking back at your life saying, damn, fear crippled me so much that I was actually never, you know, able to hit those targets. I was never able to make my dreams a reality. I was never able to make those things that I wanted to do for so long happen. Do you really want to be that person? And I think 99.999% recurring of people would probably say no. You don't want to be that person that's, you know, crippled by fear for the rest of their life. And, you know, there's no easy way out of it, but you need to come to a place where fear is not in control. You are. You take back ownership of your life. You take back ownership of your destiny. You take back ownership of the path that you are trying to go in. It's ownership. It is ownership. You need to take ownership of your own footsteps. Stop letting fear dictate where you're going to go next. If you let that happen, you will never live life to the fullest. You only have one life, one shot, one chance. I know it sounds scary, but only one. So how are you going to live? How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to do it? How are you going to step out even in the midst of fear? And talking of that, I wrote a blog post not that long ago called what was it called? It was all about confidence. It's on my website, on the blog section of my website, which you can check out. Please do. You know, I'm really trying to build up kind of like my blog posts, etc. I've got like 4 posts on there at the moment. I know, not too many, but we're getting there. And it was about confidence, and it's called Confidence, Where Can I Get That Drink? And in there, I basically said a quote, which is, I'm going to paraphrase right now, but I basically said, you know, confidence doesn't mean that there's an absence of fear. Confidence is doing something even in the midst of it. So even in the midst of all of that fear and all of that discomfort and all of that, you know, questioning yourself, questioning your ability, is still doing, is still acting, is still walking through that fire, having faith that you're going to come out the other side. Whether you get burnt, whether you get hurt, whether something happens, whatever it is, that doesn't matter. That's a non-factor. You just know that there's a certain place that you're trying to go, and you're so focused on that you don't even care how you get there. You don't even care about the pain that you have to endure or go through in order for you to get there. And the only reason that I mention pain that you have to endure through is that sometimes it is going to be painful. It's so crazy, and isn't it so funny that sometimes we feel like having that fear will stop us from feeling pain. Fear will scare us to the point where we don't do anything, so it will protect us ultimately. It will ultimately stop us from feeling pain. But we don't even realize that actually what we're doing is we're destroying ourselves even more than we would have if we had just tried. We're back in this angle just because I want you guys to really, really take this in, okay? Fear is not your friend, and there are some people who have housed this friend for way too long. You've taken this friend in, you've looked after this friend, you've washed the feet of this friend, you've cooked for this friend, you fed this friend, you ironed this friend's clothes, you looked after them, you paid their bills, you did everything for them. Just because you did not want to rock the boat, you didn't want to, you know, rock that status quo, you wanted to keep the status quo, you wanted things to stay as easy and as comfortable as possible. But my friend, it is time to abort fear. It's time to open the door and kick fear out of your house. It's time to say, do you know what? You don't belong here. There's no space for you anymore. There is no longer any room in the inn for you. It is time for you to get up, and it is time for you to go. There's no room for you here. I cannot accommodate you. I cannot be nice to you. I cannot let you control my life. I cannot sit back, watch you taking over while I assume that I am more comfortable and that I am more relaxed, when really I am crippling and stopping myself from developing and growing. It's time to abort fear. Have an abortion. The only abortion I would ever suggest to you in my entire life is this kind of abortion. Fear can stop people for so long. It's time to take ownership, and it's time to literally take fear out of your life and out of you. So guys, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, even though the quality is not fantastic. But this just shows that you guys are like literally in here now. I have to create a Wake Up Wednesday for you guys, no matter the situation, the circumstance, whatever I'm doing. I don't have any of my camera equipment, but I'm doing it on my phone. But you guys have heard me say it many a times, you know, just do. You know, I talk about how there's no excuses. You can't make excuses anymore. We have smartphones, we have other things that we can use. Apologies that it wasn't in the best of qualities, but I really do hope that the message still came through and that you actually enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I love you guys always, and don't forget, it's time to abort fear. Stay beautiful.